Hey guys, first regardsman here, as I'll be talking about the easiest heavy build in Space Marine 2 Patch 12 to push into higher difficulty. Now, on this build, I will be using the Multi-Melta. This has been one of the easiest guns in the entire game since launch, really, and even in Patch 12, it is still a top tier option, so we'll be using that today. Now, the variant I've chosen here is the magazine capacity version, mainly because the heavy class especially benefits from having a fat magazine capacity because most of his ammo regeneration and perk effects, like auxiliary reload down here, they are percentage based on these heavy stance weapons, so having a larger base capacity means you get more ammo off of every trigger, so pretty good option there for him. Now for the multi-melta perk tree, I do take the perk increase capacity first. The maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increases by 20%. This will up our total capacity even further to give us even better triggers on auxiliary reload, and it also helps out the next perk here, which is Elite Restoration. Killing a Majoris or higher enemy restores 10% of your maximum ammo reserve, cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity, cooldown is 30 seconds. This perk is pretty good. You do get that percentage restore just like you do on auxiliary reload on this weapon, which it does help out with the magazine capacity version here, but the unfortunate thing about this perk is that you do have to shoot the enemy. You can't just do a melee attack on them or a melee execute, which does kind of suck, and a 30-second cooldown is fairly long, but you know, ammo is ammo. Next perk here is Heavy Fire for a better fire rate and heavy stance, and then we pick up Perpetual Range for more attack range, and then we go up here into the perk Heavy Immunity. While in heavy stance, you don't lose control from heavy hits. This is pretty much mandatory in my opinion. Having no knockback and heavy stance, it means you can just fire where other things would just stun lock you, so definitely pick this perk up. Next perk here is Executioner's Fire. After a finisher, fire rate increases by 25% for 5 seconds. This is actually the main rate of fire enabler on this variant of the weapon. When you are taking the rate of fire version, having this perk is pretty much a top tier option because it really ups your fire rate a ton on this weapon, so definitely grab it. Next perk here is Heavy Might for more damage and heavy stance, and then I pick up the perk Trick Shot. Killing 5 enemies with one shot restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This perk is incredibly potent as an effect. A 30-second cooldown on armor restore may seem pretty shit initially, but one armor is all it takes to stop like 90% HP damage from a card effects melee hit, so definitely pick this one up. Next perk here is Heavy Might for even more damage and heavy stance. Then the next perk is Death Strike. After killing a Majoris or higher in melee combat, you'll deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. And this will also trigger off of a melee finisher, not just a melee kill, so you actually simultaneously trigger this perk and the perk over here, Executioner's Fire, so a really good synergy there, and more damage is more damage, so pretty good. And the final perk here is Increased Capacity for even better ammo reserves, and that's pretty much all there is for the Multi-Melta tree. Now for the secondary weapon, I do take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol, mainly because this one just has amazing contested health recovery, amazing stagger, and great damage for a secondary option. Also, the gun strike damage here is quite good as well. And the Rate of Fire stat here will improve your charge speed, so really good to get that contested HP even faster. And for the perk tree, it is set up as usual. Let's go down the top tree, because unfortunately on this weapon, you are so ammo inefficient without things like efficient charge or plasma collection that going down the bottom is just not worth it. Like, that's just kind of an unfortunate truth of the plasma pistol. The top tree is just kind of goated, and the bottom tree is really only good for stuff like Divine Might and plasma collection, so I would just go up here instead, and that's pretty much all there is for the plasma pistol setup. Now, if you are fighting Tyranids and you want to fight Zoanthropes and you want like an easier time with them, you can take the heavy bolt pistol. I would set up this way on either the ammo reserve option or the heroic option. Both of these are quite strong. The heroic perk effect here, no help is coming, will help you out with stopping reinforcement calls, because being able to shoot one reinforcement calling guy in the head and instantly kill him, that is a pretty efficient use of ammo. And also on absolute difficulty and above for things like hard strats, any enemy that you interrupt usually goes in rage, so you're actually saving more ammo on that on top of the horde being stopped. So a really good option all around, and that's pretty much all there is for the secondary selection. Now for the heaviest perk tree setup, unfortunately he has a pretty limited perk tree selection at the moment in terms of what's like super strong in the game. So number one, we take Restoration. Killing 7 enemies rapid succession restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Like I mentioned before with the Multi-Melta tree and Trick Shot, armor restore and a drip feed in this game is incredible. Any amount of armor remaining in Space Marine 2 will reduce all incoming melee damage to 0 even from bosses, so this is a very powerful perk effect. Definitely pick this one up for an easier time. Next perk here is Fortitude. Health increases by 30%. When you combine this perk with the perk down here, Conviction, for a 25% health damage reduction on armor break, you are baseline as tanky as a Bulwark with Conviction, which is pretty insane, and you really have a hard time dying on this class with this perk combo, so definitely grab this because HP increases in Space Marine 2 are already very valuable on their own, because below 25% HP, you do get a ramping damage reduction anyways, so further damage reduction on top of that with Conviction, on top of the fact that you have a base higher HP with this perk, is going to be very potent. Next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This is just a free automatic range damage buff for using your class ability, which you do all the time, so definitely grab this one. And the next perk here is up to you. You could take Encompassing Aegis for less range damage, you could take additional supplies for even more ammo, or you could even take Bonds of Brotherhood if you really want to. I think for like brand new players, Bonds of Brotherhood can be good because people are like going down all the time. They're picking up their friends, they want to come back with full HP. That feels pretty good to play around with for them. Now, Encompassing Aegis I think is way better, but if you want to pick up this one, you definitely can. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. Equipment recharge in Space Marine 2 is a top tier effect, like regardless of which equipment you have. It doesn't matter if it's a frag, crack, shock, or the god tier melt-a-bomb. Equipment will save your life. Equipment can stagger enemies, it can wipe out hordes, it can do significant damage to annoying enemies like zoanthropes and chaos sorcerers and stuff like that, so this is a top tier effect pretty much no matter what, and you are highly likely to find at least one useful equipment in your game, so definitely grab this. The next perk here is Power Regulator. Iron Halo loses energy 20% more slowly. This one just makes it so your Iron Halo loses energy more slowly, obviously. That's a very easy effect to use. You could also take Obdurate Bastion if you want to for more durability. I might skip over Field Adjustment if you're a brand new player. It does require you to like manage your Iron Halo a bit more, so if you're like brand new, pick these two. That's what I would do. Next perk here is Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. This perk will simultaneously trigger with the perk over here, Overwhelming Power, because while Iron Halo is active, it also counts as in cooldown, so you get a 25% buff, pretty good synergy there. And the final perk is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This is just a free damage over time effect for having your Iron Halo up. To be honest, the signature perks on the heavy class are not that good anyways. This is probably one of the stronger options, because you can one-shot Spore Mines, Cultist, and Bramble, which does make it a pretty good utility perk, though alternatively you could pick up Conversion Field, because having squad members' regeneration be better is pretty good for their class abilities. Now for the prestige perks, the first two we take here are Auxiliary Reload and Conviction for the reasons I previously mentioned. This solves your ammo economy, and this gives you a ton of damage reduction, making you way tankier, so definitely pick these two up. The next two are kind of up to you. I would definitely pick up Indomitable Spirit personally. This one says, while performing a gun strike, you don't lose 12 heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. There are moments in Space Marine 2 where you will simply have to use a gun strike to get CHP back. If you get knocked out of that, you might just die, so this one's super valuable. The final perk, however, I take here is Duelist. Perfect parry and perfect block windows increased by 25%. I think this one is the easiest for newer players, but if you want to pick up Reverberating Impact or Exponential Force, these are also quite strong, and Home Precision just sucks, so I would skip over this one. That's pretty much all there is for Prestige perk setup. That's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Multi-Melta is still a very strong gun in Space Marine 2. You pretty much have instantaneous stagger, instant horde control, and instant CHP regen, so all around a top tier pick, though I will say once again, if you're fighting Tyranids, the heavy bolt pistol can be better, and the plasma pistol is probably better for chaos, or even the Inferno pistol, because this one did have a 22% gun strike damage buff this patch, but hopefully this gave you a better idea of how to set them up, and that is all I have to say in this one. If you like content like this, subscribe for more, and if you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye. That's lit, man. Failed that oath. This is not exactly what I call an optimal scenario for the multi-melta. I mean, it is for killing the Majora, it's just not for the, for this guy. Bang, 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 bang. Oh. Oh yes, you will feed me, they say. I need that ammo. Why are Melta so weak against bosses? Well, more of a horde control weapon in this game anyway. It honestly acts way more like a shotgun than the Melta. These should be the boss killers, but they're definitely not. Plasma's way better for that. But I'd honestly just take a heavy bolter over anything else on this.
Sanctified leaders.
Okay, it's got pop. Me too. We're gonna run out of ammo before we possibly kill him, but oh yeah, we'll kill him eventually with that. Can't even get him down. You remember when Invigorating Icon had no debuff to it? I heard people saying it was worthless after it got nerfed. I'm like, we're just insane. It's still the best perk in that column. Ah, yes, a blessed little ammo crate for me. I will take that. Alright, we should be able to kill him off of this. Maybe we can get like the... I mean, there'll be an ammo crate surely.
This tide of Xenos is ended.
Ose's hand is saved for the prime. Man, the Argent Edge is the truth. Argent Edge is the peak. It's the ultimate mastery ravine. That's the best fencing weapon in the game. Straight up. Like wherever you would put a Dick is right with a party of 348. Hello. What were you playing? A lot of people.
Keep them off guard.
RE2? RE2 remake, I imagine. That's a good game. We were playing RE2 and I've been following for a few months because of SM2. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're in the Owlcat creators, aren't you? That's I remembered your name from there. That's familiar.
Inside the Imperial
You make a lot of Warhammer content. Thanks. I found you over YouTube. I enjoy the informative content a lot. Your guides helped me a lot at the start. In the meantime, I'm at 250 hours Space Marine 2. I have all Prestige 4, 25 with all weapons maxed out. Hey man, it only gets better from there. Oh, you're there too? Yeah, I am allegedly part of the Owlcat content creator thing. I did play a bit of Dark Heresy. I just haven't had a lot of time to dive into it fully. Allegedly, I am in there. They asked me to make. I've made one Dark Heresy video, I think. That was it. Okay. Right now we're just doing some true solo on heavy. With the good old multi-melta. Aside from many projects from Owlcat, yeah, they have the Expanse game thing as well. Or was that somebody else? I know I got sent a code for that. I'm excited for Dark Heresy. I think Owlcat makes the best RPGs usually, or CRPGs. God, I'm about to lock in here.
If I am the first to find these codes, you should expect a reprimand.
Yeah, Dark Heresy and Expanse are the biggest ones, but also new Rogue Trader DLC too. Yeah, the Trials in the Infinite DLC. I will definitely be playing that. I've done a couple playthroughs of Rogue Trader, and I love what the game has to offer. I've just been like kind of waiting for DLCs to peak, but that's going to be the best one, I imagine, at least so far. Owlcat needs to make Deathwatch RPG, but make it a JRPG instead of CRPG. Deathwatch are very popular. Pathfinder games are great from them. You mean Pathfinder? I like Pathfinder. I like Baldur's Gate 3 more, though.
Proceed to the Prometheum refinery and complete the demolition preparations.
Good. We have one boss done. Owlcat is certainly the studio that makes the most old school RCRPGs currently. That they do. They're doing pretty well. I'm curious to see how the voice acting is going to go in the new one, in Dark Heresy. I liked it in like the little early access stuff they played, but see how it goes. I wonder what their next game's going to be like, because I know they said they want to make a move towards like Baldur's Gate 3. They hired a bunch of official voice actors for that. Maybe they'll do animations one day. I kind of doubt that though. It's anytime soon. You're someone of a tabletop RPG enjoyer yourself, as am I sometimes. No time recently, though. I don't get, how do you do these solo runs? I keep trying to, and the zone throws piss me off as assault. I must just be ass. I mean, it also depends what weapon you're using. It's like, how easy a run is can change dramatically depending on what you're using. Good. Here, let's put this in. Warhammer Fantasy RPG receiving an Owlcat adaptation would be sick. I don't know if they'll ever do fantasy. I feel like fantasy just wouldn't sell that well, but then again, they do have a track record of fantasy with Pathfinder. Okay, guys, we have one potential boss spawn. We just missed a trigger here. That'll probably be next. Shit. The 40k Total War game looks cool, really good though. Yeah, I'm excited for that one especially. I will definitely be playing that. See how much better this goes when we take the heavy bolt pistol for once. It's awful before. Holy Heavy looks badass. Haven't touched him. He's pretty fun. He is pretty fun. He's like a little bit of a perk rework in my opinion. He's kind of been left behind a bit. But we'll see. Maybe one day. Surely one day. Probably not. I just started playing Sniper for the first time as I thought I'd not like it very much, but I was super wrong. It's becoming one of my favorites to play now. It's a lot of fun. Sniper is fun. He actually has a lot of build variety these days. A lot more than Heavy does.
This facility was not built with defense in mind. Use the codes to prime the bomb and finish its deployment into the crude Prometheum well. Cautiously.
Okay.
If you know what is good for you.
Brave Assembly is one of the worst gaming companies. Expect nothing from Total War 40k before eventual mods. I mean, I can expect one thing from it. It's going to be the most popular 40k game ever, and probably the most popular Total War game ever as well.
Skitters the grave, Xenos feet.
Probably going to do more for the franchise than like as a game. I shouldn't have taken that. That's the most worthless thing to take on this build. I want them to make games set in the Heresy. Just imagine the potential stories that can be told. Or the massive battlefields with Solar Exilia, Astartes, Knights, and Titan. I feel like Titans would be very interesting to see in the game. I don't think I've ever actually had that. For you, the problem with the heavy class is the lack of melee and build variety. The build variety is pretty bad on them right now. Most of it comes from guns, which is fine in theory, but a lot of his weapon trees and perk trees have been exactly the same for like almost a year now. The last major overhaul to this class is in like patch 7 with the exfiltration update. Pretty sure that's right. I've never seen Ultramarines with black armor. I googled it and saw they existed, but had blue pauldrons. And this is a death watch. Right now. Unless you're not even referring to that. Alright, generator 2, I can do that. My second favorite generator. Oh wait, I should probably go kill the stuff, huh? How does parry work without melee? You just have a balanced parry window. You parry with your gun. Which probably isn't that good for the gun. Like, I don't know if I'd use my gun to parry a bone sword, but it's just me. Like, surely, if it can cut through Ceramite, it's gonna cut through my gun. Also, Heavy does have access to some basic attacks in case of emergency. Yeah, it's funny that his little stomp is actually like the best Minotaurus killer in the whole game. Got like a lot of cleave too. Up there. Variant of Melta. This is the magazine capacity version or the aim reserve version. Just because this is the one where you get more from your perk triggers on this one because they're percentage based. So a fatter base mag helps you out a lot.
Generator 3 is discharging a regular current. Eliminates these unholy fluctuations.
Fumbled its tactical advantage. Sanctify the rules. Execute that one. Less than summon air.
Reposition and retake that generator.
Oh dear.
Skitter to the grave.
Would you say playing mouse and keyboard in this game is better? I would say mouse and keyboard is better in like 99% of games. First of all, you have more keys to find usually. And I can't think of many games that benefit from like a controller setup. Maybe aim assist, like that's about it. Though I will say a lot of the keybinds in this game are perma-locked if they're on console. The camera turn speed and all that, much faster. Alright, we're finally done here. Thank God. Some platformers are easier with controllers, just having dual sticks, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Platforms can be easier. Like, I'm sure there's like some hidden tech in some games that like a controller really benefits the game, but not in this one so much.
Crush the ravenous brood beneath our.
Not to say this game is bad on controller at all. Like, it does actually have a pretty good controller scheme. So good, in fact, they pretty much ported it over to the PC. Alright. Look at this.
Waste nothing, brothers. The Codex demands it.
Most of the time, I'd say it matters more which type of input device you're used to, more than anything. I definitely agree with that. You know, you have fighting game players that, like, can do insane things, like super out there controller types. It's really more what you practice on. Because, you know, if I play for 1,000 hours on a controller and I swap to keyboard and mouse, it might be significantly worse. Or like, if you take this, here's an extreme example: a fight stick in a fighting game. Imagine you play for 2,000 hours on a like a PlayStation controller, and you swap over to like a fight stick, arcade stick. They feel a lot different to you. And I know that because that's what I did in the fighting game. The only thing that's pretty similar on that is like the timing.
That is no magazine. No holding back.
Triple toe. Holy shit, am I glad I have this.
We have arrived at Nozick's facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can. The plan is sound, brother. The swarm will be broken. I will hold you.
Fresh cartridge. Another Z.
Classic arcade sticks, like the hardest fighting controller, or the hardest controller for a fighting game nowadays. I think it depends what controller setup you're playing
No
on.
going back, brothers.
I know in Street Fighter they changed it so a lot of the inputs are like automatic now, but if you play on classic, you're gonna be better off in the long run.
The Codex demands it.
Favorite heavy loadout? Great question. Probably Heroic Heavy Vulture. Maybe we'll play that next.
That silence intimidated vile chittering.
Alright, so that's one more boss trigger gone. We only have one left. We might get a boss at the finale, which can be pretty rough because it will still spawn the horde on you.
This position is defensible. Somewhat.
Yeah, when I used to play fighting games on controller, I used to thumb pad. I could make Z's on the thumb pad. I just don't like fighting games that much anymore. Yeah. I mean, I know the PlayStation D-pad feels way better for that than the Xbox one. I used to play on an Xbox 360 controller with like Street Fighter. That felt awful.
Comes, Captain. We are prepared.
That was just a skill issue, but
We need that bomb trigger.
when I swapped over to an arcade stick, it felt way
Squad
better.
estimates the bulk of the swarm will not be in position for a while yet. Keep your heads and get it done. The swarm is upon us.
Ha ha ha. We did it. It's over.
The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the protected path. Continue holding.
Skither to the grave.
I guess we were kind of made for this mode, weren't we? Bang. I guess we should grab more ammo, huh?
Load up. Resources acquired. Ammunition here. Keep them on guard.
Now is my time, chat. If you were Kakarodon, which class would you pick, and how would you play it? You know what? I was actually gonna make a video on this, on like the best chapters for every class. I'll still make it, but that wasn't on the list. But to answer the question, probably play an Assault Kakarodon with the double-edged chainsword, or use a double-edged skin because they like their chainswords, or you could play a Kakarodon's tactical and also use a double-edged chainsword, which is the heroic one for the extra peep, of course, and then like a heavy bolter. They do love their bolters and chainswords.
New enemies have entered my firing range.
Waste nothing, brothers.
The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
Skitter to the grave, Xenos. More bite. Reload. Ammunition here.
You are clear to detonate.
Oh, guys,
Those rotten
perish.
bastards. We end this now.
I just got online at the end of the operation. When you're playing my main build, keep fighting, brother. We do it just for you.
Down 90% and fall.
This
Swarm
Easter,
annihilation confirmed.
dedicated.
Excellent work. Move to extract.
Yeah, by the way, guys, for those of you who lost all your watch frame streaks, my bad. I had some technical difficulties before Tech Marine, so I had to fix them, and everybody lost their streak because of my hubris.
Coming in hot.
Alright, well, there's no boss in there, it's kind of lame, but what are you gonna do? Bang. What I'm gonna do, melted that guy.
Extraction complete. Returning to orbit. Commendable work, brothers. You honor your chapter. Be ready for rearm, refit, and...
You could have taken the Hormigaunt with you as a pet. I definitely could have. No Tech Marine to fix that on that day, that is true. Tech Marine wasn't out yet. Do you think Dawn of War will do well? I think it will do reasonably well. Not as well as 40k Total War, but pretty well. 65,000 range damage. That's a multi-melta for you.